Hi, it's Evie. What is the Social Security office like in person in 2025? I was there, so I'll share that with you. I started filling out my application online on February 15th, and on February 18th, I had written notice that they needed a copy of my birth certificate, which has to be brought in, and they'll make a copy of the original. So my first day there was February 25th, and the parking lot was just completely full. It was overflowing out onto the street, and the line was coming out the door. And I got up there to the doorway, and there's a guard, and the guard said, "We're closing the building. You're going to have to come back tomorrow." And I said, "Why are you closing the building?" And he said, "It's maintenance. Just come back tomorrow. It'll be fine." I said, "Okay." So I left, came back the next morning, February 26th, and I'm waiting in line again. And when I got up there, the very same guard said, "We're only open for new Social Security cards today. You're going to have to come back tomorrow." And I said, "Well, actually, it was you I spoke to yesterday, and you told me to come today." He said, I know, I'm so sorry." He said, "When I get to work in the morning, they just tell me what they want me to say and what they want me to do." Well, what else can I do but leave? So I left. I came back on the third day, which was 227, and I actually was able to walk inside the doors and was pointed to go over to the kiosk to check in, which is basically put your social security number in and the reason for your visit. You don't need an appointment if you're bringing copies of paperwork. If you're actually signing up, or I guess anything besides copies, you're going to need an appointment. So I got my little call number and went and sat down. It wasn't really that long, but it was 2 hours. It felt like a long time while I was there, but I did get to talk to some nice people just sitting, waiting, doing the same thing I was doing. And I felt bad because one of the ladies was driven by her granddaughter that couldn't wait any longer than the hour and a half she was there, so they had to leave and she had to make another appointment. I couldn't really tell if the people with appointments were getting in faster or not. It seemed like you still had to wait, but yet you couldn't check in if you didn't have an appointment. And they were also giving out these little pieces of paper that were cut with two phone numbers on them. Like, so they'd taken 8 by 11 piece of paper and cut them this big, and it had two numbers for Social Security. One was for federal and one was for state. So I wouldn't even know which one you would call or what difference it would make, but that's how you were supposed to make your appointment. They said you couldn't make the appointment online. I had looked and I didn't see a place, but that doesn't mean it's not there. I just didn't see it. So I didn't drop it off. They copied my birth certificate, and on March 7th, I got a benefit confirmation showing that my first Social Security payment would be on the third week of June of this year. So I'm hoping everything is going to go smoothly. It actually was a very smooth process. Even the online application was, as long as you know your information, it wasn't too hard to navigate through, but it was pretty long. Anyway, I've just seen a lot of people online talking about the Social Security offices being understaffed, and some of them are closing. And also on the 31st of this month, you will not be able to make changes like bank accounts and so on online. You will have to go in to do that. Anyway, I hope the little information I have has been helpful, and thank you for watching. Bye.